Hi everyone, it's Jennifer McCreath. October 25th, 2012. Just came across a very unusual case, and I can't let the opportunity slip by to turn the camera on. Rather strange, infuriating, and contradictory policies in our Canadian federal government with regards to health and LGBT matters. We all know that, quote, men who have had sex with men even once since 1977, unquote, are not allowed to donate blood in Canada for life. Why? Well, apparently they're at a higher risk of having undetectable HIV viruses, and putting their blood into the system would bring apparent additional risk that's too high. At the same time, we have a organ donor policy in which individuals are allowed to override risk and accept organs from men who have had sex with men even once since 1977. One difference between the two here: one, organ donor, it's a direct person A to person B, they both know each other. Where blood, you can't do that. You cannot donate blood to person A. You got to donate blood to the pool. Enter today's issue with regards to sperm donor. First of all, is a trans woman a man or a woman? Legally, anatomically, medically, and in terms of HIV risk. Well, there's apparently a trans woman in Ontario who is willing to donate sperm to a second and third party so that they can turn that sperm into an embryo and eventually have it become a baby. But the government says no, we can't do that because this trans woman is a man who had sex with another man once since 1977. Yeah, well, what about the right to override? What if the recipient, the egg donor, and the surrogate are all comfortable with that risk? Well, no, that's not good enough. Apparently there's additional criteria that the government feels it needs to intervene on. Well, what might that be? Well, good question. I think we figured it out, though. What about that dear old embryo? What's in the best interests of the embryo? And now we take a look at the pro-life, pro-choice abortion situation. 1988, Supreme Court of Canada ruled it was unconstitutional to deny women the right to have an abortion, and that the unborn embryo is not a human and does not have human rights. Now all of a sudden, a sperm, we're thinking about the best interests of a sperm, and we're deciding that basically it's in the best interest of that sperm that it not become an embryo because of the risks. Basically what Stephen Harper's government is saying, it's better to never be born than to be a product of a trans woman's sperm. Way to go, Stephen Harper. You've once again been exposed as a homophobic and transphobic bigot. And I look forward to hopefully seeing this case come to light in mainstream media and work its way into court, because it's absolutely ridiculous. I've talked in the past about pro-life versus pro-choice and the rights of an unborn baby. I don't want to get into that, but is it reasonable to suggest that an embryo should have fewer rights than a sperm? How can an embryo not be a human and not have human rights, yet all of a sudden we're taking into consideration the best interests of a sperm that hasn't even become an embryo yet? I think this one needs to be adjusted. Whether I agree with the Supreme Court abortion rule or not, fact is it's there. If an embryo has no rights, then neither should a sperm. And in this case, the trans woman's sperm should be allowed to go into the second and third parties possession so that it can become a human. And most of all, trans women are not men. That needs to be challenged as well. I'd like to point out chrismalloy.ca, the blog of Kristen Malloy, who exposed this story, and it came to my attention today. And let's talk about this, folks, especially you trans people. We hear a lot of issues about gay blood and gay organs. Well, what about trans? How do you feel, trans women? Do you feel that you're men? Should you be treated like a man? Well, the Ontario Human Rights Commission said no. They said you shouldn't have to have a vagina in order to be legally recognized as a woman. So, yeah. Talk, tweet, email, vlog, Facebook. Let's get this issue out there. Let's start talking about this, folks, because there's definitely a contentious situation here that needs to be resolved. Thanks for watching. I'm Jennifer McCreath.